host, Sherri Shepherd.
Wardrobe snafu. Is Willie coming to?
Yeah, Willie's gonna come fix it.
In daytime, you can't have this much boob out. This is Willie Sinclair III from the Sinclairs of Milwaukee. And so coming out, on daytime, it's just sometimes it's too much. And so before the doors open, Willie said, it's too much boob. So I don't know what you think that's gonna do. You pulled it back a little bit, it's gonna pull it forward. This is so funny. So he pinned it right before the doors were supposed to open up. And as I was standing, I was praying for y'all. And then I know, boobs and praying. I was praying for y'all. You gonna take my neck. It's too tight on my neck. So as the doors were opening up, the pin popped. It popped, and so I just pulled it and threw it out. So as I walked out, I could hear Willie go, So he is back here fixing it, but he keeps pinning it in the back. I keep telling him, it's heavy. They're going to pull it forward. But we gotta do what we gotta do. So there we go. So y'all just give Willie Sinclair III a hand again.
And this is the magic of live television, everybody.
This is what you get,
yes,
boy.
Yes.
But I'm so glad you guys are here because we have a great show for you today. Yes, we do. Legendary supermodel Emme is here.
I wonder if she's ever had a wardrobe malfunction like that.
I'm gonna have to ask her because I know Emme is a supermodel, which means she's done everything. Y'all remember Emme, she's been around, she's just an icon and the first plus size model. And so, just an inspiration. So I know she's had some malfunctions. I'm gonna ask her about it. Because you see those models on the runway, they be tripping and the shoes too tight, the wigs falling off. And this is just what happens on live TV. So thank y'all for being patient with me. Plus, award-winning journalist and activist Nikole Hannah-Jones is here. I am so looking forward. This I'm looking forward to because we've never met. Have you met Nikole
Yes,
Hannah-Jones
listen,
before?
she's a smart woman and a serious woman, but she can party with a purpose. I met her at April Ryan's White House celebration party.
Yes.
We had a good time.
Okay, we gotta ask her about that. So y'all, earlier this week, I attended a gala for the Broadcasters Foundation of America where Jack Abernathy, who is the CEO of Fox Television Stations, received the Golden Mike Award. So there is me with Jack Abernathy, and it was a great night. It was hosted by journalist Soledad O'Brien, who was a wonderful MC. And I was very excited because I got to meet Deborah Norville from Inside Edition. And the reason why I'm so excited, because she said, when people say to me, I watch your show every day, I just go, oh my God, this little show. So she said she watches the show every day. John, she kept saying, and I love when you said this and when you did this. So can we please find a date for Deborah Norville to come sit on the couch with us?
Yeah. I knew you were gonna ask me that, Sherri. I've already worked on it. She'll be here in like 2 weeks.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Oh, very, very good. I'm really excited about that. And the night included a performance by new country singer Frank Ray, we danced all night. He was so nice and he was so talented. But I took this photo because one of our producers here at the show, Chris Surretts, he looks just like Chris. I literally, that's our producer, Chris. And when he got up there, I said, what is this, Chris moonlighting? So it was a really good night. And Chris, I want to tell you, if you ever decide you want to quit the Sherri show, you got a job going on the road as a country singer. Congratulations again to Jack Abernathy on your Golden Mike Award. And thank you so much for your continued support of the Sherri show and picking us up for 2 more seasons. Thank you, Jack Abernathy. Now, y'all, it is time for the stories that are flooding the feeds. Okay, here we go. Russell Wilson spent some quality time with his 5-year-old daughter, Sienna. She is such a cute, it looks just like her daddy, doesn't she? I don't know where I find Sierra, but he took his daughter to her first daddy-daughter dance. It was so sweet. They wore matching outfits, I think that is so adorable. It's something when I see a man being a father to his child, it's something sexy about that. It is, and when I see a man taking care of his kids, it makes me want to say, I'll take care of you, Daddy. It's the dress that's doing it to me. But I love him, he loves his family. You always can tell Sierra's sitting back like, look at my man, look at him. So I just thought that was so sweet and wanted to show that. Now, this is funny. 2 American icons just reunited, Carol Burnett and Julie Andrews. Now, yes. Now, these 2 ladies, these 2 women have been friends for over 60 years. That's the friendship. And Julie came out to celebrate Carol's 90th birthday last week. So Julie Andrews, y'all know The Sound of Music. Was she Mary Poppins? Julie Andrews. She's known for being sweet, the sweet Mary Poppins. You know, and Carol, she says that Carol Burnett brings out the bad girl in her when they hang out. Now, first of all, I love that they've been friends for this long. Because when you've been friends for 60 years, why break up? I mean, there's no reason to break up because you know where all the bodies are buried. So if they ever stop being friends, Julie Andrews will be able to spill all the secrets on Carol Burnett. And after being friends for 60 years, you just look at your friend and you go, well, why are we even fighting? It's just, you know, because you've been friends that long. And I'm going, but at 90 years old, what is the bad side to Julie Andrews? Because she seems like such a goody two-shoes. Only thing I can think about, John, is the bad side that Carol Burnett brings out. They doing edibles.
Oh. Edibles?
Oh. I think they're doing edibles. That'll bring out the bad side. Because let me tell you, and everybody knows, and I talk about this all the time, I've been friends with a lot of my friends for over 25 years, and I reunited with some of my girlfriends here in New Jersey. And these women are very, very accomplished. One is a surgeon, one is a professor, one is a principal, one has a lot of charities that she organizes and works. And so we were together and we were having so much fun. And now my professor friend, who is usually the quiet one, she was a bad influence this time, y'all. So we sitting there, we had rented out a whole hotel suite. We were just having a good girl time. And we're sitting around and she pulls something out of her purse and she says, I got edibles. And that's how she goes, I got edibles. And now, you know, now I know where edibles are, but I didn't know what was in these edibles that she had given us. And here's the thing about edibles, when you do them, they're so sweet, you don't think it's gonna be strong. So and you always take that first, John, and you like, you know, it's not doing nothing, which I said, so I popped 2. I took 2. So, and here's the reason why I took 2, because she's a professor, so I trusted her edibles. And everything was normal. Then I'm gonna tell you that edible hit me. I started talking with a lisp. All of a sudden, I got a lisp. And I kept saying, my name is Terry Tepper. All my friends were like, why are you talking with a lisp? And I said, what's wrong with my tongue? And I said, something's wrong with my tongue. I gotta call my sister. Where's my sister? Then I said that thing hit me. I couldn't even see clear. Everything was moving and like, it was moving in slow motion. And I was just like, wait a minute, stop. And it was just moving, and next thing I know, I am laid out on the couch. I woke up, and look at me, I was knocked out. I don't know what was going on. I was laid out on the couch, and then I woke up a day later, I was still high. I was like, oh my gosh. But I tell you, they brought up the bad side. This was a night to remember. And I love that the friendships that you have for years that make you feel safe and you're being with those that you love, those are always the best friendships. So Carol and Julie, y'all keep holding on. And if you have one of those crazy parties, I'm down. Just want to say. And that is flooding the feeds, y'all. Now this one here, I gotta call this woman. I gotta start calling Gayle King, because we were on TV wearing the same outfit, Gayle and I. Now when I went on CBS this morning, I wore this striped dress, Christopher John Rogers, and Gayle loved it so much, she went out and she bought the same dress. And then Gayle wore this white dress by Hanifa, that's the designer. She wore that dress. And I ended up wearing the same dress with Mary J. Blige. Yeah. The same dress. This has got to stop, because see, here's the thing. Gayle fill out these dresses like a grown-ass woman. Oh, yeah. Gayle. She do. Gayle got that legs and hip and body. Miss Gayle King. So at first I thought Gayle was stalking me, but she wore this dress first, so I should have known that she got it first, because when I told Willie Sinclair III of the Milwaukee Sinclairs, I said, I want this white with the turquoise. And I knew something was wrong because he hesitated. And he said, are you sure? And that's it. So, Gayle, I have to say, girl, you are looking good. And I'm telling everybody, when you see Gayle, you see me. When you see me, you see Gayle. When you see Gayle, you see me. Now, Paris Hilton is opening up about her iconic party years. In her upcoming book, Paris the Memoir, she talks about a time when she tried to sneak Khloe Kardashian into the club. So Khloe Kardashian was in middle school at the time, and Paris would do her makeup. She gave Khloe a long red wig, and she told Khloe to say that her name was Betsy Johnson. Damn. Out of everybody to say she is. And so I was thinking that, so Khloe got into the club. And I remember back in the day, you remember back in the day before you could legally get into a club, you sneak into a club? Clap if you've ever snuck into a club underage. You remember those days. Now I know your daughters and sons are going, oh my God, I don't want to hear that. But there used to be two clubs in Los Angeles, Carolina West and Victoria Station, also Fridays. Remember Fridays? Yeah. And so you had to be 21 to get in there, and I was 17 at the time. And so I would stand outside, and I would ask for somebody's ID so I could sneak into the club. And most of the time, the security guards, they would look at the ID and look at me, and they knew damn well I wasn't 21. But they would let me in, so I never had a problem. But the worst is when you try to sneak into a club and you get that security guy, the guard who takes his job too seriously, because he'll look at the ID a long time, then he looks back at you, then he looks at the ID, and he looks back at you, and then there's this pit in your stomach, because you're going, please don't ask me who is on this ID, and then they always say, what's your name? I have no idea, I forgot to ask the girl what her name was. Then he go, where you live? And you don't know. And this is what I used to wear when I went out partying. That's how we had the cap and the thing, stomach showing, and I used to wear that, and then they don't let you in. So you know what kind of girlfriends you got? They always go in the club. They leave you, they would leave me outside, so I'm standing out here, I can't get in, I'm watching everybody go into the club. I can't drive away because one of my girlfriends, she's the driver, she drove to the club, she got the keys, so I'm standing out there, I gotta wait. Then probably about an hour and a half later, they come out and go, girl, come in, and they sneak you in. So I don't know, I have one with red boots on this. When I tell you,
Right. Okay.
I don't know if y'all remember that store, Wilson Suede and Leather, but that's right. Wilson Suede and Leather right there. That was a jacket, and that was my real hair. Boy, I wasn't playing around with them red boots. You couldn't tell me nothing till I couldn't get in the club, and I just had to stand there looking like that. Oh, my goodness.
Is that what you call a halter top?
It was a tube top.
A tube top. Oh.
But back then at 20, they set up. They wasn't sitting on my knees like they are now. I didn't need no bra. Yeah, Willie tried to tie those babies up right there. So y'all, the Oscars are this weekend. And one thing, yes they are. I'm very excited. One thing about Oscar nominee Jamie Lee Curtis is Jamie Lee Curtis does not play about her sleep. She was invited to the nominees' dinner, and she told the Hollywood Reporter that she declined. Take a look.
There is a nominees' dinner, an Academy Award nominees' private dinner on Thursday night that starts at 7:30, and I have declined. Because mommy goes to bed early. And because 7:30 is going to be 9 before we get food. And you know what? There's nothing good happening with me after 9 o'clock.
She said nothing good is happening after 9. Okay, first of all, Jamie Lee Curtis is the auntie. She sound mad when she just lists everything. She's like, they gotta have the nerve. They're planning something on a Thursday at 7:30, and then it's gonna turn into 9. Oh my. And I do understand, because here's the thing. As you get older, sleep is so underrated. When y'all young, you can operate on literally 3 hours of sleep. When I was young, I would go to work, and then I go out and party, and then I get home at 2 in the morning, take a shower, go right back to work. Party all over again. But see, that's when you young. But when you get older, you start reading these articles that say when you don't sleep, you die. Every article you see talks about how sleep affects every part of your body. You gotta get sleep. It makes you look younger. Sleep makes you lose weight faster. Sleep keeps your stress down. So I understand Jamie Lee Curtis. I say, girl, you stay home, skip the Oscars, dinner, and go and get you some sleep. That's what I'm like, and do it.
But Sherri, this is her first Oscar nomination. She's gotta take in all the attributes of the season.
Oh, okay, she's nominated for the best supporting?
Supporting, yeah.
Oh, okay, well then I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna say this, Jamie, normally I would be with you, but you have got to go. This is the most important time of your life. So you gotta stay up past 10 p.m. for this, because you gotta go there and you gotta work the room. You gotta let everybody know you're so excited about your nomination, because we don't know if this is gonna happen again. You gotta at least go to the cocktail hour, that's what you call it. Then you kiss everybody, and then you can leave, Jamie. Jamie, you over here worried about, and then 7:30, and then it turns into 9, and then you all the way on the third course. You haven't even got to the party yet. So even though I understand that it's late for you, this is the biggest moment in your career. Go bask in it and enjoy it. Take a nap first so that you got some sleep. Go on over there, Jamie Lee Curtis. Y'all, the Oscars air Sunday, March 12th at 8 p.m. on ABC. Don't go anywhere, because up next, we're celebrating Women's History Month with legendary supermodel Emme. And my first guest is the definition of a changemaker. She's the world's first plus-size supermodel. She was named one of People's Magazine's most beautiful, not once, but twice. And now she's helping others as a body appreciation advocate. Please welcome, oh, my darling Emme. Emme, yes. Girl, I have to say, you know, normally when my guests come out, we give them a grand entrance, but I know that you hurt your foot.
Yes.
So we wanted to put you here. And I have to say, even with the hurt foot, I'm so glad you're here, Emme.
I'm so happy to share this beautiful time with you.
Well, you know,
the joy that you exude, Sherri, is so infectious.
Thank you, Emme.
It lifts every heart.
Well, as long as people want joy, I'm here, girl.
Yeah, great.
But this, you know, because I was talking about, because Willie Sinclair III had to come and pin up because too much boobies.
Help the sisters.
Help the sisters out. You are a supermodel. Have you ever had any kind of wardrobe malfunctions or stuff went wrong?
Well, one time I slipped off a runway. So it's not a wardrobe malfunction. I slipped off into a woman's lap who was very surprised. And it was very early on in my career. And then I scurried up and I got back up on the runway and walked back. And I was like, dear Lord.
So, but you have to keep that whole face of like the attitude. You can't like say,
it
oh my gosh.
wasn't pretty. It wasn't very sophisticated and nice. It was actually almost a split. So let's just let's just put it there. But you know what? Everybody goes through whatever they do, and you just brush it off and keep your shoulders back and go forward.
And go forward. That's life.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I have always been an admirer of yours, but I got to work with you, and we did a photo shoot, a swimsuit photo shoot, a few years back when I was with you.
How cute does she look?
So, how did I do as like a quasi supermodel in the shoot?
Excuse me, you had this big, bright smile, and all of us, you know, the models are about 5.
That was
We're 5'11", 5'9", and there's Sherri.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys were so tall.
You were having the best time. I mean, the question really is, did you have a good time?
You know why I had such a good time? Because y'all eat. Y'all supermodels, they ate. When we had lunch, like, y'all didn't sit around picking this stuff. Ashley Graham was eating a cheeseburger. You was eating. I was like, yes, I am home, okay? I'm with my sisters. So, Emmy, and thank you for making me feel so welcome.
You're welcome.
But you are the first plus-size supermodel. But, yes. But yet, even being that, you almost quit because you were getting so much stuff from everybody.
Okay, so I was on a shoot, the specific thing. Yes.
Look at you.
Thank you, Melanie, Danae, and People Magazine. At one particular time in my career, very, very early on, a photographer came in after I was all done, hair, makeup, the whole thing. Hello, it was obvious that was the model.
Yeah.
And he came in, looked me up and down and said, I'm not gonna shoot this fatty.
Really?
Yeah, it's a story that I've shared, but many years later, after I've had, 50 the Most Beautiful People a couple of times, I was working and saw him, and he said, "Oh, Emmy, we've got to work together." And he forgot, and I looked at him, or he might not have remembered, and I said, "We actually did work together, and I want to thank you." And because if you give up because of someone's bullying you, then you lose so much of your life, and it has nothing to do with you. And I learned that lesson with that particular situation.
And that's how you made it through.
That's right. You can't take what people say to you personally, and especially if it's vile or if it's not nice. You got to almost say, in your mind, I forgive you, but when it's happening, I wanted to tell him, get down and do 20 push-ups, let's go.
And it's the best revenge. He sees you living your best life right there. Girl.
That's how to do it.
That's how to do it.
That's how to do it.
Now, I love this because you are a body appreciation advocate.
Yes.
You coach women, and you say, and we do this a lot. Women criticize their bodies so much. We don't celebrate it, but you do say that we should embrace our bodies and celebrate.
Every morning I wake up and I hug my body. I really do. And I say, thank you for another day. Thank you for another day. Thank you for doing everything without me saying, okay, beat, please, digest, please. And I think that if we can do that for ourselves from the source, from ourself here, our kids will feel it, our families will feel it, our community, our state, then you get into a global thing when people can just flip the script. And own what we're supposed to. If we were all the same and we were only able to get tulips, right? And we knew all the flowers were out there. And then we were denied that we couldn't have sunflowers. That would be a very boring life. God did not make it that way.
He sure
So
did.
we're supposed to be different.
You know, it's so funny because
We're supposed to be different.
Mary J. Blige was here earlier in the week, and she said she had to learn to wake up and say, "Good morning, gorgeous," and she had to speak into her
I saw
life.
that show, and it's so true what she had to say, and that's Mary J. Blige.
Who's exactly. So when you say you wake up and you embrace it, because we only got one body. It's going to carry us far.
Tick-tock, my friends, tick-tock. It is going by so fast. So if anybody wants to throw any kind of tea on your party and your tea party, you just turn around and say, how much time do I really need to be with that person?
Exactly. I love it. You know, Emmy.
You feel the same way.
I feel the same exact way, because it's one. I got to take care of it, until we're done. But, you look at somebody like Lizzo. Lizzo, who I love, because this woman is a voice for body positivity, and she gets criticized. Now, do you admire her confidence? Does it scare you a little bit when she's so out there?
No, when she first came out and was just so bold, I was like, wow!
Yeah.
You know, this is something. But you know what? That's how it changes. When people use their voices like Lizzo, and is, you know, shoulders back, and then she hires all those beautiful dancers that are diversified in shape and hues, and then they bring it.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's proving the point. It's stepping up, not just saying the words, but actually using action towards those words. And hats off to Lizzo. She deserves every kudos that she gets. Everything.
Well, I'm gonna keep giving you the kudos because this is what I love. You returned to the runway in your 50s and you walked that runway in lingerie. How liberating how was that? Was it empowering?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And my sweet daughter was sitting in the front row, and I was just like, wow, I cannot believe that this is for Chromat. And I didn't exactly know what was gonna happen, but I knew that it was fine.
Yeah.
It was gonna be okay. And hello. It was a remarkable moment for me. And it was my first runway show because when I was in my heyday, the gals were not invited to the New York Fashion Week, for the big New York Fashion Weeks. We're around the world. Now today, we can see women of all different shapes and sizes on runways, and not only in New York, but around the world. So hats off, and it's wonderful.
I love the work you do as an advocate, but you do a lot of work for your True Beauty Foundation. So can you tell me about that?
Sure. The True Beauty Foundation is a foundation I thought, you know, I really want to found something around helping the youth of our country with their body image and their self-esteem and the rise of eating disorders that were happening in the United States during the pandemic and a lot before it, and then wow, it really exacerbated during the pandemic, and we're really in a serious situation. So I love the National Eating Disorders Association, and I thought I would love to have the True Beauty Foundation that would go and, you know, help kids feel good in school, learn about more nutrition, go and talk with doctors, above all, do no harm for doctor's visits. And there's so many wonderful people that are gonna be involved. It's a baby right now, and it's just so pretty. So you can go and check it out, and it's a good place for me.
Your daughter also, Toby, she's gonna be 21, and she's also a model. Are you scared for her a little bit? This is not a kind business.
No, it's not.
So
she's been signed with the agency for a long time, and I asked the agents, as well as I shared with Toby, I want you to be able to get your degree.
Okay.
And she's a filmmaker. So I said, that's not an easy business. And the modeling industry is not an easy business. So why don't you get your degree, and then on the side, you can do the modeling if you so choose.
And so now she can make the choice.
So sweet.
She told me so beautiful. And Emmy, thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad you came. I love you so much,
I love
girl.
you so much. I'm so happy.
And thank you for being a change maker and empowering women, because that's what you do, and you do it well. Thank you so much.
It takes all of us using our voice.
It's a village, girl.
Thank you.
Emmy, and up next, What I Wanted versus What I Got. Don't miss it. Emmy, our supermodel. What I Wanted versus What I Got. Now, our first one comes from Margaret in Las Vegas. Margaret wanted a cute, short blonde wig, so she ordered one. Here's the wig Margaret wanted. Oh, cute, cute, cute. Okay, and here's the wig Margaret got. Oh, Margaret, you know who you look like? You look like Cousin It from the Addams Family. Oh, wow. So our next one comes from Velma in Virginia. Now, Velma ordered an area rug that was on sale for 70% off. Here's the rug Velma wanted. Cute. And here's the rug Velma got. Ooh, Velma, 70% off is right, because it looks like they only sent you 30% of that rug. Okay. Our next one comes from Caroline in Ohio. Carolyn ordered a slice of dulce de leche cake from her favorite restaurant. Now, here's the cake that Carolyn wanted. Here's the cake that Carolyn got. Ooh, Carolyn. salad. Looks like you got a big slice of dulce de letdown. Oh. Now, our last one comes from a viewer who tried to make some cookies that look like her child's favorite cartoon character, Peppa Pig. Here's the Peppa Pig shape of the cookie she wanted. I like it. And here are the cookies that she got. I'm not sure what I can say here, and I want to keep my talk show, so I'm just gonna say no comment. If you have a funny fail you'd like to share, go to sherryshowtv.com. And up next, we're chatting with journalist and activist Nikole Hannah-Jones. Keep it here. My next guest is an award-winning journalist and an activist who's sure to hit the ground running in a fly pair of sneakers. But her latest docuseries, The 1619 Project, examines our country's history on topics like slavery, democracy, and race. Please welcome Nikole Hannah-Jones. Come on, sis. Hey. Okay, Nikole, before we even start, or what I want to talk to you about, I gotta know, you got the flyest kicks that I have ever seen. Like, when did this trend start with you?
Well, like many kids, especially black kids, I grew up like loving Jordans, loving sneakers, but parents who had Jordache money instead of Jordan money.
Okay, okay.
So once I grew up, I just started collecting sneakers, and it's just one of my passions. I love Jordans, I love sneakers, and I've passed it on to my child.
So you passed it on to your daughter, but does your daughter inspire your style, or do you inspire your daughter? Which way is it? She's so gorgeous.
She won't like that I say this, but clearly I am the inspiration for her. Clearly.
And you got it. Well, you launched the 1619 Project in 2019, Nikole, and it started as a series of essays. It was to change the way people viewed slavery in America. What inspired you to make this docuseries?
What really inspired me, you have to go back to 15-year-old Nikole, who takes my first Black Studies class in high school. And I read a book called Before the Mayflower. And it made me realize, because that book talks about a ship called the White Lion that lands in Virginia in 1619. And while every American child learns about the Mayflower, the story of our ancestors and that ship in 1619 had been erased. Yeah. So it's really been a lifelong quest to force us to grapple with this history of slavery and to put Black Americans at the center of the American narrative where we should be.
Exactly. You know, in this project, you got support from Oprah as one of the people who just were with you on this. So having Oprah in your corner, who is executive producing, what's that feel like?
Oh my God, like it's hard to put into words, right? Like I grew up watching this woman. I'm from a small town, Waterloo, Iowa, and never imagined, is somebody here from Waterloo?
Oh, she went to school in Iowa.
I'm like, look, it's rare when you meet another Black person with a connection to Waterloo.
You was like, oh, okay.
Wait. But to have her in your corner and to have a woman like that who puts her power and is in the room and says, you know what, Nikole wants it to be this way, that's the way it's gonna be, that means everything.
Absolutely. Having Oprah behind you.
Yes.
Now, I know that there's this movement to stop teaching African-American history in some states, which I think is appalling. Why do you think it's important that this history be taught?
This history has to be taught because it's the truth, right? So the idea that if we don't learn this history, then we can just put it in the past, that we can just cover it up. Clearly, you can look in our society, you can see all of the polarization that we're experiencing. You can see how we go from a Black president to that other person who was in the White House, right? Like, this history is shaping our society, whether we acknowledge it or not. And I think if you are a great nation, you can face up to the things that you did in the past, and you can move forward by confronting the truth.
And I think that if you're not teaching it, you have even our own children. If they got to know their history. You
Absolutely.
know, if it's totally erased, then what do they draw from?
Right. I mean, you ask about the inspiration. It was, when I was a little black girl growing up, and I never saw anyone like me as an actor in the American story.
Right.
And so you start to believe, well, the reason they don't teach us about black people is because black people must not have done much worthy of being taught about. So we're all being shaped by the absence. The 1619 Project is really about the silences of history.
Yeah.
It's about all these things that were happening that we don't learn about, and those things are shaping our perceptions of the world, whether we learn about them or not.
So I absolutely agree with you. Now, here's the thing. With expressive thoughts come a lot of criticism.
Yes.
How do you handle the backlash? Because I know you get it.
Yeah, it depends on the day. If you follow me on Twitter, some days I will be the queen of clapback, but I'm learning to deal better with that.
Yeah.
One thing that can be hard when I didn't seek to be in the public eye, didn't ever expect to be in the public eye, is sometimes, you're very sensitive. I'm an Aries, so I have a hot temper. And there were times where I was clapping back, but I realized that I was serving the purpose of those who were trying to draw me in. I was being baited.
Yeah.
And so now I really do let it roll off my back, because I'm like, y'all are talking about me. I don't even know who you are. So continue.
I love that. And, it's just so funny because we have people in our lives, and I'm talking about white people, who get awkward. They don't know how to have the conversation about race. So what would you say to people who are just like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do?
Right. I mean, welcome to the world of a black person, right? We're feeling awkward in these circumstances all the time. But really, it's not about what you need to say. It's understanding there's a lot you don't know. Mm-hmm. So actually do some listening, do some introspection, do some reading. Watch the 1619 Project documentary series, because the truth is, this is our shared history. Yeah. This is not the history of black people. It's not the history of white people. It's the history of America. And no one...
Absolutely.
I think it's important because we're hearing a lot with these laws that are being passed. Well, we don't want white children to feel uncomfortable, or we don't want white children to feel guilty. None of this history is about making people feel guilty for something they haven't done.
Right.
But what it is saying is we have to acknowledge that these things happen and that you may be benefiting from them, whether you personally were involved in it or not.
Or not, exactly. You got so much going on in your life, and you're teaching, and you're just out and about. Can I just ask you, Nikole, what do you like to do for fun? Is there something that you get to wind down?
Oh yes, I throw parties. I like to drink a lot of bourbon, and I love to cook and bake.
You like to cook? Why you bring nothing cooks? I love to eat.
Listen, I make the best 7-Up cake in America, and next time I got you.
You got me. Okay. And I do say this one thing to you. I know you're very learned and you're very intelligent, but if you have a party, I got a bag of something I'm gonna bring. I'll make you wind down, girl. Nikole, I just want to say thank you so much for being here, for inspiring.
Thank you.
So honored.
Thank you.
The 1619 Project is streaming on Hulu right now, and we'll be right back. Nikole Hannah-Jones. Sherri Showdown. Now, I am here with Sarah from New Jersey.
Yes.
All right, Sarah.
By way of Harlem.
By way of Harlem, that's it. Here's the question. Which country star went viral for showing off her loud britches? Was it Carrie Underwood, Winona Ryder, or Garth Brooks?
Carrie Underwood.
There you go.
It's Carrie Underwood.
That's it. Let me bring on the next one. Thank you so much. Stacey is next from Texas. Stacey, here's your question. Former Bachelorette Rachel Lindsay married her bachelor Brian Abasolo. He's a chiropractor, also known as Dr. Feelgood, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or Dr. Abs.
Oh, I'd say Dr. Feelgood.
I'm sorry, Stacey. It's Dr. Abs. Come on over here. Dominique is from Brooklyn. So, Dominique, here's your question. My girl Tisha Campbell stopped by and talked about the gift she gave me for my birthday. She gave me a purple vibrator and a purple what? A purple scarf, a purple Bible, or a purple purse?
Purse.
No! She gave me a Bible! All right, thank you all for playing, and you're all getting a $100 gift card to 212 Steakhouse. We'll be right back. My friend and NAACP Kim Whitley and I are doing a comedy show this weekend. On Friday, March 10th, we'll be at the Grandel Theater in St. Louis, Missouri. And when Kim and I get together, it's gonna be nonstop laughter. So get your tickets immediately. Go to metrotix.com for more info, and we'll see you in St. Louis this Friday. We'll be right back. Camille and Kamaria from Rochester, New York, otherwise known as Charlie's Angels, Luenell's friends. Did you guys have a good time today? I hope something on today's show put a smile on your face. We got another great show for you tomorrow. Until then, be intentional about having a good time. Charlie's Angels, they are.
Nice.